everyone, and welcome to Meet the Experts. I'm Dori Soukup, and with me today is a very special guest. He is the global educator for Medicalia Skincare. And today we are here to discuss 4 strategies you must do to improve your results for invasive or non-invasive treatments with skincare products. I am super excited because what you're going to learn today are all sorts of things that you can include within your menu and your treatments to enhance the guest experience and the results of every consumer that comes to you for those types of treatments. I am super excited that you are with us today, Dr. Jurist. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
This is so nice because we're actually doing this interview in person in our studios in Daytona Beach, and this episode is being sponsored by InSPAration Management and Medicalia Skincare. So let's start, Dr. Jurist, by telling everyone about yourself first, and then maybe just a little overview about Medicalia Skincare.
Absolutely. So the story is that I always wanted to be a doctor, and of course I studied medicine, and I was very drawn to the field of dermatology, and I was very passionate to really find out what my niche was within, dermatology. So I actually wanted to study something else that had to do with medical aesthetics, and as such I became an aesthetic doctor, or a aesthetic medicine doctor, if you will. And so once I did that, I was able to, really focus on my passion, which was helping people not just to solve their problems and give them solutions, but offer a more comprehensive type of approach, right? And I wanted to make them feel good. So as part of that, I noticed that we as doctors, when we get trained, we are not trained properly in the pre and post-op care. So I said, I need to offer that extra bit that is necessary. Mm-hmm. And so I started searching high and low for something else, like a good clinical skincare line that would offer, that kind of positioning mm-hmm. in my practice. And finally I found it, and I found Medicalia, and I was impressed. Mm-hmm. I gotta tell you, I was impressed when I looked at their background, the way that they formulated the products, the science behind the products, the natural origin of the ingredients, the lack of side effects. So I was really drawn to know more about the company. Mm-hmm. And I contacted them, and guess what? I ended up becoming their global educator director. So
that's quite an accomplishment.
Yes. So after 17 years, right? that I became part of Medicalia, I've been traveling the world, speaking at conferences, training doctors all over the world about Medicalia, and of course, now I'm here with you.
Yes, and it's an honor. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Dori.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about Medicalia, just an overview of mm-hmm. why you were so attracted to it?
Well, of course, Medicalia was actually like love at first sight when I saw it. And the reason is because starting with the image, right? It's a very slick clinical image, but most importantly, it's like with people, right? You see the outside, you want to know what's inside. Mm-hmm. So, and I had to see what was in these products. And I looked at their ingredients, and I actually found out that the truth was there, because you cannot actually, frame someone with a story. Mm-hmm. You have to really tell the truth, and the truth is out there. Mm-hmm. And so, what really caught my attention was that there was love in the creation of this line, and that's because of the founder. The founder of the company, it's the most amazing person I have met, and I got to tell you, she put all her enthusiasm in creating a line that would help people to achieve their results faster and better, and at the same time complement what doctors were missing, mm-hmm. And that was that lack of pre and post and the follow-up for maintenance.
Nice.
So basically what Medicalia is and does is a clinical skincare line mm-hmm. that actually focuses on improving the condition of the skin, either by preparing the skin with the right ingredients and formulations, mm-hmm. Taking care of the skin in the during process of the treatment, mm-hmm. and of course the post-op period, which is so important, and the maintenance.
Yes.
So what you get here is a selection of very, very, very unique ingredients, high-tech ingredients very advanced formulations. We're talking about tri-phase microemulsions, biomimetic technology, and of course, the assurance of a hypoallergenic line that has been tested clinically through research, and of course, that will give you results very quickly. But the most important thing, Dori, is that it expedites your results. So when you use it, you can see results faster than you would if you didn't.
Nice. And how did you end up joining Medicalia Skincare?
Well, I ended up joining Medicalia Skincare actually because I learned about their products, and I was very curious about their formulations. When I saw their advertising, and I actually went to a medical show, and I figured out that these products were actually high quality. And I researched about this line. I found out their philosophy on how they formulate it, how they put ingredients together, the quality of the ingredients, the sources of their ingredients. So I wanted to really join them, be part of their group, and bring my knowledge. And of course, I contacted them, and then I joined them as their global education director for the entire world. So here I am. I joined the company, and after 17 years of traveling around the world, I think that Medicalia has served my needs. And I have recommended this for a lot of doctors, and they have really, really also taken advantage of it.
Yes, that's great. Well, I can't believe you've been there that long because you look amazingly young. And
It's
I
Medicalia.
It sounds like a great solution because you look absolutely amazing. So
Thank you.
all right, well, let's start by telling everybody. Let me tell you the one thing I see missing often in working with many businesses in our industry, whether they're plastic surgeons, dermatologists, medical spas, it doesn't matter what type of business really. The one void I see missing often is the lack of pre and post preparation with skincare for whether it's non-invasive or invasive treatments. And when I look over different medical spas menus and medical aesthetics menu, I often see that part missing. Yes. Why do you think that is, and why shouldn't it be missing?
Right. Very, very good. Actually, it's part of what I noticed back then when I started, into aesthetic medicine. Doctors, the way we are trained, we tend to really try to focus on the solution to a problem. And when we have someone coming to us, what we do is that we treat him, and sometimes we just let him go. So, but that's not the way to do it. So when you go to a medical spa, in many places, you will look at their menu, and that's a reflection of how they operate, because that's how we're trained. It's not our fault. Yes. We're trying to change the industry. So the importance of preoperative care and postoperative care comes with the offering of a more comprehensive solution, because not only you have to prepare the skin for a procedure to obtain better results, but you also have to take care of the after, which is so important, and it's lacking. It is really lacking right now. You can improve the results. You can actually reduce scarring. You can reduce side effects, complications, etc. And this needs to be part of the menu. So when you actually offer, a treatment at a medical spa, you need to focus not just on the actual procedure, but also in the before and after. And this is very important. So what we're going to try to, put here together as an idea is that we need to focus on a more comprehensive action when it comes to treating the skin of a patient.
Yeah. So what advice do you have? How would they go about doing that? Let's say I'm coming in, whether it's for laser resurfacing, it could be microneedling, it could be a PRP treatment, it could be peels. So if I'm a consumer coming into a facility, a medical spa or any kind of business, and they tell me, okay, we're going to do laser resurfacing, and they just proceed. So what are the repercussions that a consumer could experience by not preparing the skin first?
So the reality of this is that if you just go ahead and treat the skin with what it needs, of course you may actually obtain a result, and this is why people come. However, you need to really take care of the skin in a more complete way. Now, what happens with pre-op care is that when you prepare the skin, when you prep it for the treatment, the response of the skin will be better. The healing process will be better. You will actually enhance the actual response of all those cells when they have to take care of that healing process. You see, this is the same as, and I'm going to give you an example. You know, if you never work out, you know, if you don't exercise and you run a marathon the next day, what happens? For the next few days, not only you die, right, but you're going to be in pain for the next few days. But what happens when you're constantly exercising and working out? You can run a marathon tomorrow and the day after, and you'll be fine. Your body will recover like this because your body is prepared. The same happens to the skin. If you actually go under a procedure and you're not prepared properly, your skin will take longer to heal. It will have more side effects. You know, like this, you could have scars, you could have pigmentation.
Right.
You know, you could have a lot of like downtime that people don't want to have downtime these days.
Right.
So that's why preoperative care is so important to actually improve the post. And this is why they have to be tied together.
Yes. So let's say I prepare, I have the procedure, and then one of the things, again, we see missing is that post skincare.
Right.
Again, no matter what kind of procedure you have, often consumers are left to go find solutions on their own instead of, again, that professional that did the treatment actually helping them. So why is it important to have post skincare from a procedure?
Well, post skincare is super important because, of course, it's the follow-up to the procedure. You cannot just leave the skin to heal by itself or to take care of itself. I mean, it would normally do it. But if you want the best results, if you really want a really nice outcome, you have to care for the skin. You have to take it by the hand, right? So you have to use the right products. You have to protect it. You have to, you know, give the skin what the skin needs at that moment. So sometimes you need to have a cocktail of products or ingredients that will help the skin to perform its best at that very delicate moment. Because when the skin is going through the post-op, it's actually very fragile. It's a skin that if you leave it by itself, it can just heal abnormally, you know? So you can actually have a much, much better outcome and a much more satisfied patient when you take care in the post-op. So the ideal way a doctor should do this would be, first of all, when the person comes to the spa and wants to have a procedure, you would schedule them for a later date. You would put them in a maybe minimum 2-week pre-op regimen so that they follow with that.
Right.
You do the procedure, and after the procedure, you actually have the entire regimen written for them for the post-op. And that's the follow-up that you will do.
And that's really what I love about the Medicalia products, because we do have several clients that actually use it. And how I've helped them position the brand with the procedures is this. When a person comes in, we would bundle up. Like they can't have that procedure unless they have the procedure, and the post, just like you said. And when they bundle it up like this within their menu and part of their protocols, not only are they going to have better satisfied client that's coming to them, but they're also going to have the opportunity to increase that revenue per treatment, because now that they not just have the treatment itself, but you have the pre-product and you have the post-products, and then of course after the post-products you would go into the maintenance products.
Correct.
So it is a whole system, and that's really what I love about the brand that you represent. And by the way, I've had some procedures, and I know that you have one product I can't live without, and that's your silicolipid there. I'm sure you're going to talk about it maybe in a little bit, but it is so important to really guide consumers. So those of you who are with us today from all over watching this, you really need to reconsider how you're doing procedures and truly include pre and post care, skincare within that procedure so your client has the best results possible. So it's really a win-win all the way around, for sure.
Absolutely.
So what would be some of the things that they should focus about regarding like clinical skincare? We know there's 10,000 different skincare products, But in a medical spa environment, they really need that, extra edge.
Yes.
They want clinical skincare. So how does that fill that void? How does Medicalia fill the void of that desire to have clinical skincare?
Well, absolutely. Medicalia does fill the void because it contains exactly what a medical spa needs, which is science in a formulation. It's technology, it's clinical quality, clinical grade ingredients, and the entire way that the regimen works is absolutely skin friendly and practically side effect free. So this is what you need for a medical spa. You need a product that it's going to be completely safe, that it's not going to give you any headaches, right? It's a product that, of course, needs to be recommended with certain directions or instructions, because it's not the product that you'll find at any over-the-counter store, right? But most importantly, you have an assurance. And the assurance is the quality of the product, which is superior to what you would find in over-the-counter places, like I just mentioned. So it's very important to know exactly how these products integrate together, because that's another thing. It's the synergy. You get synergy here. They work with your skin, and they work with one another. So this is why you put the products together the best way possible. So that's why at Medicalia, we offer kits also, where everything is customized for the client, for their skin type, and for their procedure. So that way you obtain the best results.
So what are some of the key ingredients or key factors in, like, let's say I own a medical spa.
Right.
How do I go about choosing a medical grade skincare? Like, there are still so many options out there. What are some of the things that I should be looking for as a business owner that I would know that this is the best thing for my clients?
Well, of course, there are so many things. Most importantly is the quality of the product. You need a product that has great quality, good reputation, so a tried and true product. You need a product that can actually have that scientific backup, right? And research, clinical studies. A product that has been tested, that doctors actually trust. This is very important. And also a company that backs up the product with training and with service to your medical practice. This is very important.
Yeah. And that's probably one of the biggest missed opportunities I feel in many other brands that we may come across. And that is the training.
Yes.
And let's speak a little bit about that. That really is like the third and most important thing in choosing a brand. Like, you could have the best brand, but if there's nobody that can come and teach it to your team, and especially if you have somewhat of a revolving door with your team members, you definitely want to be able to have the education necessary. So what are some of the things, again, as a consumer or as a business owner, what should I expect as far as training from my brand?
Well, of course, it's very important that you have complete knowledge of the products, and every respectable company should offer that. You should get that from the beginning. Let's say that you want to carry the line at your establishment. So the first thing would be to get initial training to really understand how the products work, how you can incorporate them into the different modalities of treatment, and of course, any support that comes after that. So basically, a reputable company would offer you training by different means. Virtually, especially nowadays, right? In person, on site, or at least invite you to their facility if that's a possibility, of course. And not just the initial training, but supporting training that continues, right? So you have to have that continued training to keep you up to date. But it doesn't have to also or only be like that. You can also have training through materials, So a respectable company will have a set of materials like technical manuals, guidelines, at a glances, everything that can help you support yourself also when in time of need, and you need to have that information handy, right? Then you will have it. So it's very important to really find a company that will give you that kind of trust and peace of mind, that you will always be up to date. Because, nowadays, with the evolution of formulation and how fast-paced the industry is going, sometimes companies have to reformulate their products. And you cannot just know what you learned the first time. You have to be up to date with the new formulation, how it works, and how it can be actually more helpful to your needs as a medical establishment.
Yeah. Now, with you being the global educator, do we get you to train us?
Well, yes, of course. We have a team. And I come usually, or I teach for the most important scientific part of Medicalia. Of course, we also offer videos that we have filmed the step-by-steps, so we can always send you that information. But definitely I am teaching and training on Medicalia, especially directly to doctors when there's need for that. Yes.
Well, I remember,
yes.
I mean, the first time we did when we traveled, when we all traveled the world,
yes.
We used to run into each other all the time at conferences, and Dr. Jurist would be speaking at all the conferences about how important it is to combine skincare with different treatments that you offer and the importance of it. And you know what's amazing is one of the shows that we used to go to was the dermatology show.
Yes.
And whenever we would go to dermatology shows, the one thing we've noticed is that most dermatologists, I hope I don't offend anybody, but most dermatologists did not have very good skin. But because they don't believe it, not many of them believe in skincare. Now that's changing a little bit.
Yes.
But they believe in like treating diseases and maybe doing some injectables here and there and some things. But it's funny that that was a void, I think, in the industry.
Right.
Same thing with plastic surgeons, actually. Those are like two main segments of physicians that, they do it like 1 foot in and 1 foot out. They don't see it as the respectful product that really it deserves. And it's funny to me because that's one of the things we're always teaching people and letting them know that how important this is and how it should be part of the experience. And funny enough, we see other types of doctors are much more keen into skincare. Right. Why do you think that is?
Well, that also is part of the nature of the personality and also the profession and the particular specialty that you choose. As we know them, I mean, dermatologists are doctors that are more concentrated on looking at the skin from a very complete point of view, and nowadays, especially with the advancement in cosmetic procedures and all that, and because aesthetic medicine has taken over the world, in reality, dermatologists are becoming more and more interested in this. However, plastic surgeons, they're more practical. They do what they do best, and I know that.
Cut and slice.
Well, you could see it like that, but we are more of an operator, right? We are very practical. But then what you mentioned before, you said plastic surgeons maybe do not pay too much attention to it. But this is why this is a great opportunity to mention that if you are a plastic surgeon, right? And you already, of course, are very successful with what you do. It's very important that you think about how to grow even more if you incorporate an aesthetic service into your practice. So even if you're not going to focus on skincare yourself or medical skincare yourself, you can hire a medical esthetician or aesthetic practitioner that can complete or actually add another angle to your practice to give that extra that is necessary for the practice. And actually doing that plus carrying a clinical skincare line will actually give you that 360 that you're looking for.
Again, it's going to improve the results for your patients, and it's going to keep them coming back. That's the one missing thing I find often is skincare and facials and non-invasive treatments are really a way to keep bringing your clients and your patients back. So you have a higher lifetime retention,
correct?
Right, lifetime value for each
repeat
person
clients
that comes to see you.
Right.
And sometimes they don't see that way. They're like, I have a relationship with a plastic surgeon here in town, and I went to do an assessment, and they have no aesthetic. Like he does Botox like every once in a while, here and there. I'm like, what? You don't even have to do it. Hire a nurse practitioner or somebody to come in and do it.
Right.
You can still focus on. So diversifying is the key here. You have so many different revenue streams that you could be tapping into that you may not be tapping into right now.
Correct.
By combining certain non-invasive facials or aesthetic treatments, injectables, peels, things like that. And then if you have the proper system combined with it, now you have people coming back, your revenue just increased, your profits increased.
This is passive income.
It is. It's total passive income. It's a no-brainer, right?
Absolutely.
It's like,
absolutely.
You really need to do that. And the best part, really, it's educating your consumers, too, because if you don't educate them, the physicians, if you or your team is not educating your consumers, then you're not really doing right by the clients, because me as a consumer, if you don't tell me what I need, then I'm left to go different places to see what solutions I need, and it might be totally the wrong thing.
Right.
So we have a saying that we teach in our Don't Sell, Recommend program, where we say it's to fulfill your professional obligation. That's really what your obligation is, to teach all your clients and patients on how to take care of themselves at home between treatments. And you do it through, skincare products. So it's so valuable.
Yeah, and not only that, you're getting that extra income, but you are doing something good. Because you know what? Those patients, they probably do not know what else to do after their procedure. And they're going to go to a pharmacy or a drugstore and just get whatever, it's over the counter.
Yeah.
That's not
Oil of Olay.
Exactly. And that's not going to do any good to them, because if you look at the ingredients, you can just run away. And scared.
Yeah.
So basically, you are going to be helping their skin so much more.
Yeah.
And on top of that, as people get better, that's the talk of the town. They came to you, they got the procedure from you, they got the products from you, and they're going to tell their friends. And their friends will tell their other friends, and so forth. So in reality, this is something you should not, miss as an opportunity.
Definitely. It's a must.
Yes.
And again, it's part of the whole system that you're presenting to your clients.
Yes. And let me tell you, one of the things that people normally complain about post-procedure is usually scarring. People complain that, I don't want scars to show. I don't want people to see what I had done, right? And one of the best ways to smooth a scar is to use a proper post-operative product. And that's what, in this case, Medicalia offers, so that you can have that wonderful, very smooth outcome. And then, of course, be totally happy about the money you invested as a patient at that spa, or medical spa, to get your procedure done. Yeah. So,
what's your favorite Medicalia product?
Oh, well, I love Retinol and Vitamin C. I got to tell you.
Why
it's
Why do you love those?
Why? Well, simply because they're very potent vitamins that the skin needs, and especially because, they prolong your youthfulness. They do that. Vitamin C is so amazing. It can do so many things. It can help rejuvenate. It can help fend off free radicals. It can help improve the texture of your skin. It can actually get rid of sun damage. And so does vitamin A. Vitamin A is wonderful to help recover the skin, to rejuvenate the skin, to give you a better and smooth texture, and in reality even lightens the skin. I mean, together vitamin C and vitamin E can lighten the skin as well. Of course, we have dedicated lightening products, but those two in particular, they are amazing at the way they work, and they work great for men and for women. And if you know how to use them right, there's no limitation as far as the phototype, right? Or how you use them. Of course, I would recommend them to use them at a certain time of the day. For example, retinol is at night and sunscreen during the day. But when you have that, that's pretty much what your skin needs, because you have to keep that skin going. As we get older, our cells become more and more dormant. And then, of course, that lack of change makes us look dull and just not good. And this is what we want to change. So I feel that in particular, retinol and vitamin C, they're very light, and they have also helped my skin to be kept, radiant, and I feel good, and I need to...
Yeah, you're glowing.
Well, thank you. I need to really, show that I'm living proof that the products work.
Yeah.
And this is important.
For sure. Well, I look at vitamin C like this. Like you drink orange juice.
Yes.
You need to also put vitamin C on your skin. And it is such a great brightener. I mean, it really is. Everybody should have a vitamin C. No one should leave your place without at least having a retinol or a vitamin C. It's just it's silly not to have them.
I know.
You gotta have them.
I know, but not all vitamin C's or retinols are created equal.
That's true.
That's another one.
Very
you can't just walk into a CVS or and just
this is orange. It looks good.
Right.
It has vitamin C. Okay, I'm gonna buy it.
It doesn't work like that. In particular, vitamin C is very, very fragile. It can oxidize really, really easily, and of course, you're going to be spending your money on a product that doesn't do anything for you. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to be disappointed. And then you're going to say, no, I don't want any products with vitamin C because they do nothing. But that's not true. You just have to find the right product.
Right.
So you need to go with a line that has high quality tech formulation. And of course, that the sources are preserved. And in particular, vitamin C needs to be preserved in a way that when it's delivered, it's just as potent as the moment it was extracted.
I see.
And this is the way it works. And that is true for any vitamins and for any other products that could actually, lose power during formulation and storage. Because that's another one. I mean, you may have a product that maybe it's good for 3 months. You never took it off the shelf. When you take it out and you apply it to your skin, nothing happens, right? Or in the worst case scenario, the product goes bad. So you need to have something stable, an emulsion. For example, in the case of Medicalia, where tri-phase microemulsions that we use, we allow the skin to really absorb the maximum of that product. It is absolutely stable. It doesn't oxidize as quickly. It doesn't separate. And on top of that, we add biomimetic technology. So those ingredients are completely compatible with the skin. So you get the best in a small quantity.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Well, I've been a fan, obviously, for a long time as well. And I love what it does to your business. And I love what it does for your clients. So it's definitely something that you should implement within your practice to really focus on pre-care, the treatments, post-care, and then the regular maintenance that every single person needs to have. So that really should be part of your entire business model. And if you don't have a system in place right now, my advice to you from a business aspect is to sit down, take a look at exactly what you're doing right now, see how you can improve it, how you can improve the results by the help of clinical medical skincare, which would be ideal for the confidence, first of all, that you can have to be able to recommend it and get the results back from your patients. So what are some of the mistakes that you see people make maybe by either not having skincare or maybe carrying the wrong line? What are some of the things, like mistakes to avoid?
Well, you just mentioned the two most important ones, of course. One is that people sometimes don't use any skincare at all, of course. And then, of course, your skin, remember your face in particular, it's exposed to the elements and it needs to be taken care of. Why does your face age faster than the rest of your body? Because the rest of your body is covered, right? And of course, your face is exposed to sun, to air, to contamination. If you're not really doing anything for your routine every single day, you're just absorbing all that dirty and toxic stuff into your skin. It's not helping you. And the worst part of this is that most people only use soap and water, And in the case of us men, we only do it when we actually shower, which is even worse. Well, of course, I do it differently because I learned the proper way, and I have my regimen, which is necessary, and everybody should do it or try it at least.
That's why you look so young.
But you know what? It's all about consistency.
Yes.
You have to compromise yourself. You have to do it. You have to really, really focus on doing it.
Yes.
But the truth is, as you said, that many people do not use skincare, and when they do, if they do, they do not use the right products. They don't use the right products for their skin type, And they use products that, and I don't want to say it this way, but they're formulated cheap. Especially over-the-counter products, because over-the-counter products are created for a mass market. And the whole intention here is to have profit. The product is set to deliver this or that benefit, but in reality, it's a diluted benefit. When you look at the ingredients, and this is why I encourage anyone to start reading labels and see if they can understand what the labels say. You will see
I would have no idea.
Right.
It's like foreign language. You don't even know what some of these ingredients are.
But once you really get into it, you will notice the difference between a high quality product and a product that is made to be really inexpensive. You can tell by looking at the ingredients, especially at the beginning of the list when you see all those fillers and chemicals that are not what your skin needs. They're there for the formula, but not for your skin. Of course, those are artificial ingredients that for the most part are very, very inexpensive to produce and put in a product. And this is the whole point. The whole point is market. A lot of products with a high profit margin.
Right.
And that's what we are trying to change here. The whole concept is that you don't have to spend a lot of money and you can still get great quality, exactly what your skin needs. There's, for example, and I can say that there are many lines out there, clinical lines that are wonderful, because I've seen their ingredients, right? But I can speak about Medicalia right now, and I can tell you that there's nothing in these products that your skin is not going to use. There's nothing that it's going to go to waste.
That is thirsty for. And
absolutely. Everything that the products contain is exactly and only what the skin needs. And this is very important. So mistakes that people make, not using a skincare, using the skincare that is not for them, or using cheap formulations. Or sometimes just thinking that by using whatever they learn on the internet, that's going to give them, some sort of benefit or result.
Magically improve things.
Yes. and the truth is very different.
Yeah. It is a zoo out there actually for skincare because, people simply go on Amazon and just start looking and buying things without really knowing what's good for them. And that's really the point I want to drive home here today is the fact that it is our obligation as an industry to educate our consumers onto what exactly they need and why, the products that you offer in your facility are better. And that story needs to be told. And if we're not telling that story and your team members don't know the story, they don't know how to explain it, just like Dr. Jurist just did with me. It is an education. And once you educate your clients on why it's better to have your products over other products, then they're going to be more likely to purchase them from you so they can benefit themselves. Because if you just let them go without that education, then, like you said, they're just going to go try to see what's best for them on their own.
Correct.
And then the other people are just, all they care about is selling.
Exactly.
So it's a big mistake, definitely, to avoid, for sure. Yeah. What other last minute tips you'd like to share with our audience today?
Well, I would like to share the fact that, it's very important to educate yourself, all right? I think education, just like Dori mentioned before, it's a must.
It's not just for consumer, but
it's not just for consumer, it's for yourself.
Yeah.
Because the truth is that, regardless of our background, where we go to school, if we became a specialist or we have 3 specialties, right? The truth is that we're not taught everything we need to know. So we have to self-educate ourselves, right? We have to continue, learning. And it's very important to see what the world is offering right now. In the sense of finding out the very important focus of your practice is to actually become more comprehensive, to offer everything that your patients need so they don't look elsewhere. This is very important. You have to be that one-stop shop, okay? So they have to come to you for all their needs. And that means for relaxation, for procedures, for their pre, for their post, for their maintenance. You have to be their place to go to and the one that they want to call the second home, right? This is very important. But as far as education, of course, this is why we're here. You do a great job with educating people on learning how to grow their business. And, most of us don't have any idea because it's not what we focus on.
That's why they need us.
Exactly. So it's important to complement, to actually integrate.
Yeah, you need both.
You need both.
It's very
You need
important.
both. And this is the message that I want to give you in general. But of course, if you're going to look for a great clinical skincare line for your practice, research. Look at that. Look at the ingredients. Look at their webpage. Look at what they offer. Ask for training. Ask for what they offer as a company, how they service you. For example, in the case of Medicalia, and we mentioned training already, right? But we also support you with marketing. This is very important. So we help you with materials, with printed materials, with virtual materials. We help you design your menu. We help you with the creation of your menu and also social media, your webpage. We can actually work with you as far as promotions. We can help you, in many ways. So mentioning promotions, I wanted to say that also that we have a deal with Medicalia. So because we really care for you, we're offering 20% off on your orders with Medicalia.
You have to mention Meet the Expert show when you call.
Absolutely.
So call Medicalia, and you can go to Medicalia. Is it medicaliaskincare.com or
No, medicalia.com.
Medicalia.com, and then you'll be able to mention that you saw Dr. Jurist on Meet the Experts. And that's very generous of you to get 20% off on your initial order. That's very nice.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
It's a
much. I'm
pleasure.
sure our audience would really appreciate that. It's a wonderful offer from you guys. That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
It has been a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
And those of you who are ready to make a difference and offer a complete experience for your guests with not just treatments, but the pre, the post, the treatment, and then the maintenance, I would highly encourage you to contact Medicalia, ask for the team there. They have an entire team of professionals that can give you all the information you need and show you how it can truly make a difference in your practice or your medical spa. So thank you so much for being with us. Come back, please, anytime. It'll be a pleasure to see you. Thank you all for joining us. And again, thank you for having this episode be sponsored by InSPAration Management and Pavonia Skincare. And stay safe. And until next time, stay inspired.